Well, hello everyone, TheOntarioGardener here, back with another episode of Factorio Space Age. We're back on Gleba, and it's raining. So last episode, we kind of went over this, and since then, I actually modified it. I know in like the tutorial, or whatever you want to call it, they were using this as a requester based on what's on a belt. The problem with that I've been finding is, like, it's okay, like it's doing it now, but sometimes it'll spit out, like when it shows that there's spoilage on the belt, it almost like sends spoilage in. So I don't really understand why it does that. See, because there was forced spoilage. Like, I don't get that. So what was happening is some of these runs, the whole belt was filling it with spoilage. But I've since changed. Yeah, here, look. No, this is not. Yeah, look here. See, I don't get it. Like, I don't get this at all. I haven't changed these because we're going to be getting rid of these things eventually. These, like, I don't get this. Like, I understand that, set requests that this requests this if the number of this, if it's, is it supposed to read contents? Maybe that's what I'm messing up as. Maybe that's the right way, not requests. Okay, let me just see what it says here. Let me see what this does. Maybe it's actually this. I didn't watch it that closely. Maybe it's that. Yeah, it'll be down here. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Don't know. Point being is I was getting really annoyed with that, so I stopped doing it. Like, I had it set to set requests, like sets the logical requests of the chest based on the signals from the circuit network. So the circuit network is hooked up to these signals, right? These signals are reading the belts, right? It's not really, you're not really pulsing or holding. You're not really holding. You're just reading the belt contents. You have to choose one of these three. You can't just choose none. And then this is allowing something to go by or not allowing something to go by. That's not what we want. So this here, this is reading. Or can we show that it actually is reading that? Trying to think how to explain. Let's see. Right now there's none on the belt. Oh, because it says it'll have a value here, right? So maybe that's the right way. Point being, it doesn't matter. We are changing things, and, like, should we have a bus? Should we not have a bus? Well, the issue that we're having with everything is nutrients. Nutrients are the problem. As you can see here, none of these are running because we have no nutrients, right? We need nutrients. So this type of system is okay. Just like this one is okay. I mean, we're stocked up on jelly, so it's not as big a deal because we're using more bioflux. Because over here I set up just a small rig here to do bioflux. And this one obviously doesn't look like it's working either. So I don't want that. I want it to be this. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. Sorry, that's definitely not it. This is, where's the one for this? No. Isn't there one that's jump starting it? I don't know. This is what I came up with to make nutrients out of bioflux, because you get 40 out of 5. So that's an 8-to-1 ratio. Like, this is backed up like crazy right now. This should probably have they should each have their own belt, because if this is outputting 60 per second, yeah, because this is 60 per second, these belts can handle 60 per second. So each one of these should have its own belt in a sense, not 4 going onto one belt. So that's the first problem. But I just wanted to have some nutrients being made. So having it going into these are active providers. This is if it's greater than 50, meaning if this is greater than 50, take them off. But I know this isn't ideal. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe we need to set up some kind of bus design. I ended up making a lot more biochambers, because all you really need for this jumpstart this process, you get 2 pentapod eggs for every 1 pentapod egg, plus a little bit of water and nutrients put into it. So once you put 1 in here and let it run 1 cycle, you basically have infinite pentapod eggs. because every cycle you'll get one quote free. So what I was doing is I had this set up here, dumping these into your biochamber because they need pentapod eggs, one. And I ended up getting like, I don't know how many 100 I have now. I think I have 200. Does it tell me how many I have? It does not. Does it tell me how many I have now? No. Does it tell me how many I have doing that? No. I think I have close to 200, well, I did have around 200. So all you need is one pentapod egg. You wouldn't need any of this really, but it just speeds up because these take 20 seconds. So if you crank it out, you're now producing one every 0.6 seconds. So it's significantly more. And also by putting in productivity modules, you're basically getting out a half per second, which is good. So, but anyway, that's besides the point. I was just doing that to get my biochambers because you need them for literally everything. So yeah, this is working. This is working. Now everything's backed up now because I kind of changed that around. And yeah, so what I did is I had a bus here. The buses are not 100% functional the way I'd like it, because when you think spoiling early on, you then are like, oh, what do I do now? Well, I'll show you what I got, because I wanted to get into getting. Actually, I got rid of them. Well, this is the last one because I haven't done. No, I did have that. I did do that one. We want to get the things that you make from whatchamacallit, from bioflux, that you make it from mash and you make it from jelly. Well, you make things like and it cooks so fast. This is 3 every 2 seconds. So if we have 8 machines, say you have 2 machines, it's 3 per second. So we're basically putting out 12 per second, right? 2 machines, 3 per second, plus productivity. So like we have plus 50%. So we're actually putting out, even like right now, one of these machines. Here, well, you can do your max rate calculator just based on this. This one. All this is doing is reducing power, which you technically wouldn't need. We're producing 36 per second. That's a lot. So I have these. Basically, I have the network here set to 10,000, and it's full. Like we have 10,000 here. So what happens is there's spoilage on here because this will output spoilage as well. When this spoils, it'll output the spoilage. And I have it set up, all 3 of these, or 4 of these, are set up the same way. Well, in the sense of I have circuit conditions. So instead of running all these things through here and just letting it run around and turn to spoilage and all that, because it will do that after 2 hours and after 1 hour, is I have some conditions here. Basically saying that, where is it? Oh, they're hooked up to the chests. These are all hooked up to these chests. So the collective chests, if you click on this, basically it says if the entire network, which is what it's hooked up to, has less than 10,000 plastic, allow this to go through. Allow both. They're both the same thing. Like they're both the same circuit condition. So basically what that does is instead of clogging the whole system out with spoilage all the time, the nutrients will spoil. We're getting those in 10 at a time. I guess I could actually set this. Actually, I could probably set this the way those other ones were set. That's not it. To that. And then just take this and put it to that, which is fine. And you want to have it set to that. So it's less than. We don't even want to have 50. 20 is plenty. 20 is plenty. So when this hits less than 20, then it'll dump somewhere else. So then these will just spin around because there's nothing for them to do. They'll get spoilage. I said this is a nice little kind of spoilage maker. Instead of putting spoilage into bins, like here, like I said, we're going to get rid of all this and redo all this at some point. Instead of putting spoilage into chests, no, put them in or on the belt. Now I'll get to in a minute why. And then we go to this one here, right? This is the same thing. Like I said, I want to redo the circuit conditions. Oh no, this one is not. That one can go away. This one can go here. I want this one to be 20, not 50. 50 is too many. There. That's 20. Here we go. And then same thing with this one. Read 20 and get rid of this. So I'm kind of doing this on the fly here. This is going to be less than 20. Instead of limiting it by what's in the chest, this is going to hit. Wow, you're over now, which is fine. Reading the contents. This one is not set that way. So we have here plastics. We're getting a crap load of plastic per second. Up here we have rocket fuel, and this uses jelly and it uses bioflux. And right now we're producing 2.4 per second. That's a pretty good amount. Like there's nothing beaconed. Like this is just a beaconing for power, which we have no issues with because we're running that nuclear stuff. So we have 0.0 issues with any sort of power problems. If you, I wouldn't even call it a problem. But point being is if you save a little bit of power, fine. You could put speed modules in this if you need to. You could put, you could do whatever you wanted as far as modules. I mean, you could put more productivity in it, I guess. That would slow it down. But anyway, circuit conditions are set up the same way. Hover over this, we have 4,000 rocket fuel. Because rocket fuel doesn't stack. I could actually probably put more in this. So the way you do it, right, is you go into here and you change this to let's just say 6,000. Okay, it's going to start allowing everything to go through. 6, 1, 2, 3. Because this is just reading it. This is not on hold. We're not reading the belt. We're just reading this. So as you see here, this is going to start making more. 2.4 per second. That's a pretty good amount. Even though this is slow, we have productivity. And again, this is going to stop when this. I mean, you can do this because I have it hooked up to the network. When this hits 6,000 collectively, these will activate or deactivate and stop. That way we have no spoilage. We're not going to, once this stuff in here spoils, not the nutrients, once the jelly and the bioflux spoil, it's going to stop. Like, it's not going to keep taking it in. So you're only going to have like this much of spoilage. And the spoilers will be taken out of these two with these two right here. And every one is set up this way. And what they do, they're going to dump it right back onto the spoilage belt, which I'll get to that in a second. This one here is sulfur. Sulfur is spoilage, and spoilage is in that for some reason because it's shut off again, right? So this takes spoilage and bioflux. Again, because we have how much sulfur? We have 4,000 sulfur. So what we could do, let's just open this up. Let's just put this to 6,000, right? Take that to that. Now what's going to happen is this one's not taking out the spoilage because you need spoilage, right? You need spoilage and bioflux. So this one you don't have a circuit conditioned or a thing to take the spoilage out. As you can see, this is, what's the problem here? I gotta change that to 6,000. So I actually have to do that to these ones too. That's why these aren't working. There we go. This. Now again, it's a lot of circuit conditions. That's for darn sure. This is set up to 10,000. This is fine. So these are working obviously. And this here, because you have spoilage coming out of these because they were sitting in this from the nutrients, that dumps it right onto the spoilage belt. And the way the spoilage belts are working is that anything coming from the machines always have priority over what's coming down from the top. If that kind of makes sense. Well, I guess it makes sense. And then the one up here, we're making carbon right from spoilage. So this one, there is no spoilage overflow. There is none of this. There's nothing to lock up because you're not locking up spoilage because it's already spoiled in a sense. And what are we producing here? 2 per second. And the only kind of like, you could make this a lot bigger, this whole setup bigger. The issue here is like this one, you need 1 spoilage per second. So you could essentially have 60 machines on this. You could. The problem is you're going to have issues with nutrients spoiling. I mean, you could buffer. You could use chests going into every one. Yeah, I don't know how you can make them bigger. Once we get, or what probably would make more sense is just create another module over here, or another module somewhere, and use the same type of formula. And these are only going into buffer boxes or into boxes because we have that's 8,000. Oh, this one's continuously going because it's a lot slower. Right now we're at 3.8 thousand of these. And, yeah, they're only going into storage chests just because we don't really have a need to put them into anything else. We're not using anything yet. These will... Whoops, that's not what I want. Alt, please. These will be used to make carbon fiber, which we can make because we have the mash. And so that's another thing. What you probably would do off of this one then is you'd copy this and paste it right here. You'd run the carbon belt right into, however I'm going to end up doing it, right into another module, and you have the mash coming in underneath it. You could just, you could use underground to do the. It probably would do this gap and then bring it straight across like that, right? And then the next one is you're like, okay, what happens about everything else? Well, the issue is you can't burn bioflux. You can't burn it. Like you can't burn it. Now you may be able to burn it in. Good question. Can you burn it in a boiler? I don't know the answer to that. Let's just get one. I don't know if we can burn it in a boiler. We're gonna find out right now when I get a boiler in. Yeah, I don't know if because it has a joule value to it. Where is it here? Where are you guys? Come on, man. Where are you at here? There. So let's see what happens. Can you burn it in a boiler? No. Okay. So even though it has a joule value, you can't burn it in a boiler, which is fine, really. So anyway, the only thing this is doing is burning when it turns to whatchamacallit, turns to spoilage. These are burning off any extra spoilage that comes through. Well, extra on top of this, because this belt here, this is our spoilage belt. And like I said, you don't want this to jam up because you want to have these going through it. So that's why I have it set up over here. This is just running along the bottom of everything, and it's running up. Again, these have priority over what's coming in on the belt. This goes all the way up, priority. This is where it splits into two. I just didn't turn this into this part yet. And then it's going up into this one, and then here it's splitting off priority here. So if this ever gets backed up, the rest will go to burn. And then the same thing here when if there gets to be too much on these belts, if this backs up enough that it's spitting it up here, which it kind of is now, it'll burn it. And this stuff burns, like burning, like these have what, 250 kilojoules? That's a quarter of a megajoule. Like it takes zero. You don't even notice. It's like a flash. You don't even notice how quickly it burns. So that's where we're at. I know this is just a short kind of recap video here. The next thing we want to build off of this is going to be, we can just kind of go into here. What we have, I want to do some lubricant, of course, bio lube. We have our fuel, we have our plastic, we have our sulfur, which you get sulfuric acid from. We have biofuel, we have this. So from this, I don't think we can, we have to research carbon fiber. Yeah, we have to research carbon fiber. Yeah. So I think what we're going to start doing after this, or for this, is we're going to start setting up a little bit of science. Because when you're running science is going to take eggs. So we're going to need a bigger egg producing thing, which you can run these in a series. It doesn't matter. And then we also have bioflux, which we have, a crazy amount of. I mean, we have a consistent amount of that. So we could put that. We're just going to have a bit of a belt here. I do think I may or may not. I'm not sure yet if I want to put nutrients on the bus or just run it like this. But when we come back after the quick little break here, we're going to probably start on some science because we need this science now. All right, we'll be right back.